Hello everybody. Today we are going to learn a lot about this uh, SQLite database in Flutter. So we are going to connect this create the SQLite database and connect it to with our previously designed UI of reorderable list. Okay. As it was one of my subscribers' request, so thank you for your request. So I am trying to do my best to create uh, understandable or maybe easy to understand codes for you. So at first we need some dependencies in this tutorial, that will be Sqflite and path. Okay, so you can go to this pop.dev and you can install this Sqflite. Just copy it and you can just go to your pop specs and add over here. Okay, inside dependencies, so you can just do it like this. Okay, but in my case it's 2.2.8 and for path 1.8.2. so you can search path over here, path, then that will be like this one. You can also copy this and you can paste it over here, but I am facing some like denial with 1.8.2. So 1.8.3, so I'm using 1.8.2. okay, so 1.8.2 will be all right for right now. So I do prefer using 1.8.2. so after adding these dependencies to a project, let's go and create a database helper. Okay, so I'm just creating a database helper in my utils folder. Okay, so that will be database helper. So after that, let's work in this. So before moving on, let's go and let's check our Sqflite. Okay, so here you can connect your Sqflite with two types. That will be, one will be raw SQL queries and another will be with SQL helpers. So I'll be doing SQL helpers in this tutorial. Okay, so as you can see, it's giving me all this data. So let's continue. Okay, so I'm just not going to create this class to do, because I don't want to work in this class. So I am just going to show you about the helper class. Okay, so that will be like to do provider, so same like to do provider. Okay, let's go. Okay, you can copy paste it, or let's begin with step by step. Okay, so that will be all right for you maybe. So first of all, let's create some constants. Okay, so class name list provider, then we are going to create some constants or string types, so that we don't get mixed up. Okay, so database name, so database name will be like Sqlite example.txt. okay, so another will be, I will write the table name string table name, that will be names. Okay, in my case, after that I'm going to write the names of the columns. Okay, so that I don't mismatch over time. Okay, so final string column id, that will be underscore id for me. Okay, so final string column name is equals to, that will be like name, and final string column position, that will be position, so that I can manage these positions in my database. Okay, so that's only the beginning. So here I have only given the constants names, that's it. I haven't done anything with the Sqflite. Okay, so now we are going to connect our data, create our database and connect it to the create a database. Okay, so to create a database, let's first declare our database. Okay, so let's do database, and that will be database. Okay, so let's connect this database. So that will be, sorry, database, that will not be database. Okay, so package Sqflite slash Sqf. Okay, database. Okay, so here it is giving an error because nowadays in Flutter it will not give us an access to directly only declare a variable like this. Okay, so to declare the variable, we need to add a late keyword in before that. So it will say that it will initialize somewhere inside our project. Okay, so after that, let's create a function. Okay, on init function, or let's simply say init on. So that will be like this. So inside we are going to get the location where we can save our database. Okay, so final database path is equals to here we should use await. Await is for asynchronous database fetching, so it will take some time, so we do await to wait for it. So we need to use async function. Okay, for while when we use await, we should use async function. So async await get database path, so it will give us the path of the database. Okay, so after that we need to join our database path with our actual database. Okay, so final path will be join will be of from the path package. Okay, so join, what should we join? That means database path comma database name. So it will connect to path, that will be database name with our with the database path with our database name. Okay, so after that we need to check, we need to open the database. Okay, so that will be database equals database open database. Okay, so even this is also, this will also works as a async function, so we should write await new. Okay, open database. So I need to initialize this database to this open database. So I'll write database is equals to await open database. Okay, so here we are passing path, but we need to pass something like versions and something like onCreate if we want it. So also ongrade, upgrade or downgrade. Okay, so here we are only using three parameters, that will, one will be path and another will be version. So this will be like version controlling. So after that we will use onCreate function. So this function will take two parameters and work on it. Okay, so it will work when we open the database. It will be like when creating the database or even while opening the database. Okay, so while opening the database, it will say check if it is on create, means there is no database of this name and we have to create a new database, so it will create a table. Okay, so on create it will also create a table. Let's make this, and over here I have to do something. Okay, rather than that I will just write another function where I create table on create. Okay, table create on create. So it will take the same parameter, that will be database as db and version as version will be of type int. Sorry. Okay, yes. So after that let's write what is it, yes, this one, like db.execute. This is the SQL where we create table with the table name. That will be table name. And column id, we do have column id, which is going to be integer, yes, and it is going to be primary key and auto increment, yes, it's correct. After that, we do have column name, not title. Okay, so column name, it will be of text and not, yes, it's okay. So after that, there is a column position, so it is integer and not null. Good. But if you want it to, if you want it to be null, you can just change this not null and paste it. Okay, but in my case I want this to be not null. Okay, so it will create a table while the database, while opening a database. Okay, so to have this functionality, I just need to use this on create table on create to be over here. Okay, so because this will be in future, I recommend using futures in front of these functions. Okay, so if there's a reference future, then I should add this one async. Okay, let's write log table created. Okay. As I have already told, there are two types of log, that will one way of math and one way of developer. So developer will print something in our debug console, and another log will be logistics. Okay, after this, everything is correct, everything is good. So after this, I need another function, future, maybe on closer, maybe it's like yes, over here. So this will close the database. Okay, future close, that will be an async folder, then db, in our case db is database, so database dot close. Okay, just I need to do some functionality over here, just like I need to console log something, so I will use this type of functionality. Okay, not the arrow functionality. db close. Okay, table created. Okay, over here I'll write log db init initialized. Okay, so nothing changes over here because we haven't used this name list provider anywhere. Okay, so let's use it in our UI. Okay, in this previous UI. So let's go to the reorderable list. If you don't have the previous code, then you can copy it from this medium. I think I have provided you the code. Yeah, this front end code, I think. So not the UI code, I have written front end code, so you can copy it from here. Okay, but there are a lot more things that has been going on, so it might be really confusing for you. So I prefer having this code, which is in my previous reorderable list article. Okay, so after that, I just wanted to check one thing, that is initialize. Okay, so while we using stateful wizard, there are functionality called init state. This is called when this page is initialized. Okay, when this class is initialized or this page is initialized, when we go to this page, this one is called, let's check, log init. Okay, back and okay, as you can see, this okay, init is called. back, and I go init. Yes, so to you initialize our database, while on init I should use name list provider in my this UI portion. Okay, so to use that I will just simply create an instance of this name list. Okay, final let's say name list provider is equals to name list provider. Okay, this is an object of name list provider, so I'll use this object to access all my functions over there. Okay, so on init name list provider dot init, yes, that will be our name, and okay, let's go with that. Okay, back, and here is nothing. There's nothing. Yes, sorry, I have you to be over here. That will be all right. Okay, so let's go dv initialized, because I have already have one version where my dv has been initialized and my table has been created. Okay, so let's make it 2, then back, and then again see this. Okay, the database has been called and the table has been created. Okay, so a new database of Sqflite example 2 has been created and the table has been created. Okay, let's keep it to 1. Okay, back, and again if I go there, only database has been initialized, the table has not been created, so it will be created only once, so don't worry about it. Okay, so when the page will be initialized, then on init state will be called, then there is a function called deactivate, which is called when this page is closed. Okay, so in that time I want to call dot name list provider dot close, which closes our database. Okay, so back, database closes, and when we go database initialized, and again back, database close. Okay, let's go. So the database has been initialized, table has been created, everything is going fine. Okay, so we have learned how to create a database in Sqflite. So create database and create a table. Okay, so let's now move into another section where we will do CRUD operators. That will be like insert, and that will be insert, read, update, and then delete. Okay, so to do that, let's go to the database helper and let's create a function. Okay, function that will be, let's say, insert. Okay, now here in insert we want the data, so I want the data to be like something like id, sorry, underscore id 1. Okay, or let's say I don't want id, because id is auto increment and it's a primary key, so I don't want id, I just want name, and another will be position 1. Something like this will be all right. So I want something like this. So in Flutter there is something called map. So map defines this object, and maps will be of type, the fronts will be of string, and second value of any type like a dynamic will be all right, but I will use object. Okay, so it can be null for me. So I have defined the data type, and this will be the variable which holds the data with this is the parameter. Okay, parameter name. So here I will await, and I will use just database dot insert, so it will insert into the table. Our table is table name. and our value will be the parameter, that will be names. Okay, so as I have already told, when you use await, use async, and when you use async, it's better to use future. Okay, so this is the only line of code that is required for us to insert our data into the SQLite database, nothing more than that. Okay, so after that, I just want to read the data. That means I want to fetch all the data. Okay, so to fetch all the data, this will be like insert, and another will be like future get name lists. Okay, so in this get name list, we don't get anything specific. Okay, so we don't need anything specific over here, so that's why we're just going to return something. So the return will be same as the type we got. Okay, future, and that will be something like this. Okay, but this is only for a single data, but we are going to return a list of data, so we have to write list of data. And list of what kind of data? List of map kind of data. Okay, cannot be written now, that's all right, don't worry about it. Okay, we haven't returned anything yet because here was nothing that will be like void, but here we are going to return something that will be of list type, and that list will be of map type, and the maps will be of string and object. Okay, so let's await for database dot query. So database the query will query our table, that will be our table name. Okay, so I'll return this one because as you can see, database query will return a list of future list of type maps with string or object type. Okay, so that's it for update, sorry, for get data. Okay, but here okay, let's go and we will talk about it in future. After that, I just want to go and update the data. So to update the data, I will create a data function called update, and in this I will use async, and if you are using async, use future. Okay, that will be all right. So in update, we have to get something from there. That means we need something to be returned. Okay, we need something to be returned. So to return, to get it, we have to get the data first, then we have to check if the ID is there, and then we have to do some functionality over there. So same as in insert, I will get a name from there, that will be a name from there. Okay, names, I will just write name because a single data will be, we will get a single data. Okay, so I'll get name. Okay, so after that I have to check whether that will be like something like update table where id is equals to 1 2 or name dot id. Yes, so something like this should be my SQL query. So to do that, I just need to call database dot update. So here we will get the table name. After that, we have to pass the value will be the name. Okay, so that will be name. I want to update name, but where should I update the name? So there is another parameter argument where, that is called where it should be where our column dot id, that will be underscore id is equals to our id. Here I will be using what, okay, because here I will be passing this to where arguments, okay. So that will be like in a array, and that will be name, and I have to access the type. That will be like inside this I do have another something. This will be for insert, and for update my name will contain all the data, like this, underscore id is equals to blah blah blah, okay? Something like this. So I want to access this id, so I will do name, and for the id I will use column id, okay. So here it will update the data where my column, where my id is equals to the id sent in the update argument, okay. So this is just a simple example for update. After that, the final operation of code, that will be delete operator. So that will be future, and that will be delete, and it will be like int id, okay. So await database dot delete. I want to delete what? I want to delete table. I just don't want to delete whole table data. I just want to delete where what I will delete, where the given, where the column id is the given id. So I'll just copy this one, okay, over here, and if instead of name I do have my id, so that will be like id over here, okay. So this will just to delete asterisk from table name where my column, where my id is equals to given id. Did you get it? This is only for delete. So we have created table, we have inserted, we have a function to insert data, we have a function to update data, we have a function to delete data. We have a function to read the data, that will be get name list, okay. That is it. There is nothing much to learn about it, okay. So I just wanted it to demonstrate. So for the demonstration, it's simply easier for you to copy and paste the code I have provided over here. This will work fine, but if you want to go through this code, I will give you a line by line explanation about it, but it might be a little bit different from this one, okay, but it will work same, okay. So let me see, and let me go along with it in any case if I am incorrect, okay. So before moving on, I have to update one thing, just because I insert data, I am not returning anything. So first of all, let's see the example, then I will work on it, okay. App bar, okay. Here app bar will be app bar, and then I will be using actions. In actions I will be using icon button, and on icon button that will be a little bit something like that, and that will be icons dot add, okay. Icons dot add will be all right for now. Sorry, that will be icon, and then icons dot add, okay. So here is a scaffold, and here let's give a title too. It's looking weird over here. Text, and that will be like Sqflite, and that will be example. So here is your title, and here is your add button, and here are all the other functionalities. Okay, so right now I'm working in the previous data, which is this one, so we don't have any issues because it's names, and we do have some 4 datas, and it's working all right. So I just wanted to do something like when you initialize data, when you initialize something like when you initialize this page, I just need to fetch the data. Okay, I just need to fetch the data. To fetch the data, uh, I do have to create a function which will be void fetch name list. Okay, so that will be like a sync. And that will be like await. I just need this to be over here. That means I need it to be initialized over here, because if I don't initialize it over here, and I cannot use a sync over here, and because there is the database which will be initialized. So if we work before initializing the database, then it will give an error when we fetch the data. So I have to use this namelist provider.init, that is initializing database inside a sync function. Okay, then I will just create a list just like this previous list. I just need to create a final that will be of list, and that will be of type map, string, or object type. So it won't be any, it won't be what do you say, it won't be easy, or that won't be like null. I am not going to take null values over here, so I'm using dynamic is equals to let's say name list is equals to, that will be empty string for right now. Okay, so we can use this name list over to the place where we have used names in previous video. That will be like here, and there should be 2 places here, in 2 places. Okay, so because it's a type of map, so it won't give us like this. So I will use let's say name, or you can just write something like init. What have we used for the database? Namelist provider, sorry, namelist provider dot column name. So there is nothing. Okay, there is nothing, that will be like something, there is nothing in here, so it is not working anything. Okay, length is 0, so it's all right for right now. Let's fetch data. To fetch data, I just first need if there are any data previously stored in this name list, so I want to clear those data. Okay, so that to do that, I will just say name list dot clear, not cast, clear. Okay, so it will clear all the previous data. Then I will add name list dot add all. I want to add everything. Add everything. I will wait for name list provider dot get name lists. Okay, so here won't be anything, and f should be small over here for the function name. Okay, so that will be all right. Let's work with this functionality over here. I want to show a dialog box, so that will be, I'll copy and paste somewhere it from the code. Okay, from the medium. Okay, over here. Okay, not a problem, not a problem. Oh, it's names list in my previous, so make it names list, names list, and names list, names list, and over here names list. Okay, so I will go through every point of it. Okay, so this is show dialog, so it will show the dialog box, and here it should have the context, that is context of the space, and inside of builder there is a alert dialog. Okay, alert dialog, then inside that alert dialog there is a title called name. Okay, that will come the title. Let's do something like this. Let's use it so I can show you easily. Okay, and done. Oh, sorry, I need to pass the context over here, and it's done. Oh, I have also asked about the position. So position will be name lists, names list dot length. Okay. This will be all right. So let's see. When you click this, the title will be the name, and the content will be inside this of the content. So it will be of type text form field, so that I could use this validator, but it is useless right now because I am not using any kind of form. So that will be text field, it will also be fine for now. Let's remove this validator. It will be like really hard for you to understand that. I just don't want to do anything nonsense right now. That will be not necessary for me. So decoration, and here is in text. In text will come over here if no data is provided. Okay. Insert your name, because I have used a text editing controller, and inside the text editing controller I have put the position as my text. Okay, so that's why when I click, so it will go position 0. When you click, and that will be like position 1, 2, 3, and that will be like something like that. So I just don't want it to start from 0, because as you know, the length of the can be from 0 to 1, so I just want it to be from 1. So position 1. Okay, right, that will be all right. So this is it. Okay. Please insert your name. That will be like over here, and I do have actions, and in actions there are 2 types of buttons. That will be one cancel. I'm not much doing much of the UI over here. Okay, so that will be one cancel. So it will pop up. That means when I cancel, it will go back. Okay, another will be add button, so it will be a little bit easy for us to know. Okay, so let's make this out, and let's, if it is so, please insert, because I have done millisecond 330. Let's make it 300. Now it might show a little bit because it have data, so it is not showing us anything. Please insert name. Okay, cancel. So this will be text editing controller. If it is I'm just doing, if it is blank, then if it is not blank, then I am going to do something like this, else I am going to show the snack bar. Okay, the below that black little pop-up you have seen, that is a snack bar, just like this. This is the snack bar. Okay, and if it is not empty, so I'm going to do name list dot insert. So inside insert, I will be providing name and position, as I have already told you that I will be providing name and position. Okay, so name will be from the text, so the text which I am receiving from this box, this text field, that will be my name, and position will be according to my length of the name list. Okay, so after that I will do the same thing, that is if the item is not null. So here insert, we are not getting anything, so I just wanted to check if insert is successful. Then I need it to be returning the fetched data. That means when it insert is successful, I need it to call the get names list and return it. So the same thing will be returned. Okay, that means the same thing will be returned over here. Okay, so here said nothing is not cannot be returned. Okay, so to do that I just need to int insert id. So when we insert something into the database, it will give us the id of that recently added data or recently added row. Okay, so for that we need to check whether the insert is correct or not. So I am saying if insert id is greater than 0. So if insert id is greater than 0, then let's return the data which we get from get name list. Else I want to return null, or else I want to return null, or we can direct call return null for any case. So it is not giving me because I just need it to say it can be of map data type, or it can be empty or null. Okay, let's make this same like all the above. Okay, this will be the same as this, nothing else will be changed. Okay, I just need it to be like this. Both, it can be of object empty type, or it can be of empty type, that will be null. Okay, so it will return null if there is any error while inserting data. Okay, so let's go back, and over here if item is not null, means if insert is true, then we will get the data, all the data from this table. Okay, so that will be like this and this, and we will do name list dot clear, and we will add the name list. Okay, after that we will set the names list, because if we don't set it, it will not show in this change in this page. Okay, so let's make sure, let's comment it out for right now. Okay? After that it will just go back. Okay, and it will just go back, position 1, position 1, and position 1, all position 1. So let's check the position. Okay, number of positions also. So inside this expanded folder, expanded text, I will just get another variable. That will be not the column name, that will be column position. Okay, position 1 1 1 1 1. Why is it 1? Did you see? Let's go back, and when we come back, there is nothing. Why there is nothing? Because we haven't fetched the data yet. So let's go and see on init state, we haven't called this fetch name list. Okay, so I will just call this fetch name list over here. So if we do that, clear console, did we initialize? Nothing happened. Let's log it. Name list, I know the problem, but let's go with the flow. JSON encode name list. No, it's working right now, but it was not working before. So let's see. Okay, it is working, it is giving us data, but it is not showing because we haven't set the state, because we need to change the state. So we need to use set state over here. So set state, and here should be name list. Anything changes to the name list should be changed. That's the thing we are going to do with this core line. That's it. If you do this, then see, on initialize it will call on init and it will fetch the name list. Then name list will initialize the database, and after initializing the database we will get the name total data from there. Okay, so it is working fine. Okay, it is working fine right now. It's not doing anything harm to us. Let's change this. It's not changing. How can this not be changing? Because we haven't done any operations in our name list. We have previously done reorder operations in our reorder list in our names. This one is our previous or hard-coded array. Okay, so I just want it to change to name list. Okay, so name list dot remove at name list dot item. So let's do this. When we reorder, it's reordering. It's nice. Okay, it's doing well. But let's go back and let's come again. So it is back to the same position because we haven't updated it in our database. We have only updated in our front end, but not in our database. So we need it to update in our database also. So for that I will just write a simple function for updating. Okay, so void update all lists. Okay, so here let's say I need to set the state. If anything is changed, then please change it. Okay, that means here our data has been inserted and changed. So if it is not set state, then it will change over here. Okay, but it will be working fine over with this, but I am going for double check with this. Okay, so after that I will run a loop. Okay, I will use for loop for name in names list. Okay, for its name in names list, I'm just going to get the id index. So index is equals to name list dot index of name. Okay, so I'm just going to get the index of this name. Okay, because as you know, when we change, it will change the index, so not the position. So I'm going to check and get the index of this item. Okay, so with that index, I'm just going to do a simple thing. I'm just going to get everything from the previous name using spread operator, and I'm going to change only one thing, that is name is provider dot column position with our index. But if we do only the index, there will be an error, because our index, there won't be an error, but like it will start from 0. So I just don't want it to start from 0, so I will just do +1. Okay, so this will change the position of the it will only change the position of the name, okay, with our index over here. Like if we change it from here to here, that index will be 0 for this. Its previous index was 4, so it will be now 0. Okay. So 0 plus 1, that will be new position will be 1 for it. So after that, I am just going to update. I'm just going to do name is provider dot update. I'm just going to update the name. That's it. Okay. So where should I call this update one? Do you know? Let's guess something. So it will be like I'm going to use this update all list when I have reordered the list. So I'm going to use this update list. Okay. So when I reorder this list, I'm going to update the list. Okay. 1 4 1 4 1 1. Okay. So let's go for this. Let's see. 1. So it is not doing anything. Why? It has been called update on list, and it is going to just this ones should have updated. Let's see. 3 4 2 1 3 4 2 1. Okay, that is 2 1 4 3. That will be 5. So as you can see, this is in the same order. That means according to our ID. Just let me get the ID for you. Here, let me get an ID for you so you will understand it better. Dash, okay, and here column.id. So that will be column ID. So as you can see, it's 1 5 1 2 3 4. So let's update this one to this back 1 2 3 4 5. Did you got it? Because this is just showing in the order of ID, not in the order of our position. So we need to change here, where we need to change when we get the names list. Here we need to change it by using order by. So that will be like this, order by. So how, with what we should do order by, that will be column position. So let's go back and then over here. Now let's see, 1 2 3 4 5. Let's make this 4 to the top. Okay, now let's go back and again. Now did you see, it is now making in order of the position. That's the thing I just wanted to show you. Let's remove this, it's showing so much confusing one. Yes, okay. 1 2 3 4 5 position. Did you got it? So this is all you need to know. Now let's go for our remove, that means our delete operator. Okay, delete CRUD. So for delete, I will just write another function, void on delete. Okay, so on delete, I just wanted to delete it from my database. Okay, so I have to do something like I have to delete it from the database and then from the list. Okay, so I will just use async over here, async, and that will be await name list provider dot delete from, what should I delete? So I should delete name list. So let's make sure I do this inside the delete functionality itself. Okay, so it will be easier for us to understand. Where is the over here? So I'm going to use this as a sink, and then delete. What should I delete? I should delete the name list, and that will be of index, not only index. I should have to provide the id, so column id. So it is going to delete my data from the database. Okay, so let's see if position 1. Okay, let's position 1, and let's delete all of these. It is not showing anything because we are not deleting it from our front end, but actually we are deleting it from our back end only. So let's go back and see. Well, it's all gone. So let's delete it from our front end also. So to delete it from our front end, we just need to add names list dot remove. We should remove it. Remove it. What should we remove? We should remove something from name list with the index. That means it will remove an object. See, it will take an object, so I'm just giving it an object. Okay, so this will remove the data from our front end too, and after that I just need to update it all. Okay, so after removing, it will go to the update all section, and in update all section, so what is update all? Yes, it will check it will change the state of name list. Then after that it will loop inside the name list with the new position. Okay, so let's do something like this, name, and after that age. Okay, so if you, as you can see, it is name age. Okay, so if we delete this name, the age will be in second position. Okay, so it should be like in second position, but it is in third position right now. Okay, back, and then go to this, but it's now changing. So because we just updated it, but we haven't changed the state, so at last we need to set state, and that state will be only name list, nothing much more change. Okay, so that will be like, no, we haven't fetched it or what. For its name list, it has been changed, and then column position, that will be updates. So that will be like I just need to do the same thing like we have done in this fetch name list, but because of this I cannot do something like that. So let's copy this right now. So that will be like, I just need to clear the name list, then again fetch the name list. Okay, so back, go on, version 3, it was late because of some data, nothing, but not the error. Okay, so it is showing some data rendering late. Okay, so the position is good, and if I change this data to this, it is going to the position 1, and everything else is changing according to the position. Okay, so if I delete the age, then other will be 3, 4, 5. That will change according to the position will change according to the index. Okay, so that's it for the tutorial for Sqlite along with the reorderable list. Thank you so much for subscribing, and I do really appreciate your support.